Guys, we are getting closer. Do you realize that this past Saturday was the last Saturday without football until the middle of February? We are there, guys. And so, because
Are we, though?
No, there's a game on Saturday. What kind of game is there on Saturday?
there'll be you're right. The Hall of Fame game is on Thursday this year, not Saturday. I apologize.
It's okay.
We have one more Saturday without football.
This is probably the last.
But still, okay, I don't count preseason. I see where you're going with this, David.
Immediate misinformation by you.
Well,
David.
let's
right
just
out
move
of the
on.
gate.
Let's just move on and get
Terrible
right.
job, Dave. Awful job.
Just worry about the 999. Go ahead, David.
Let's just get to this, guys, because I got to some of it last week. There are more guys I want to get to in the NFL that are under pressure. These are players, coaches, and possible GMs. Let's get to the first guy today, and that is quarterback Bryce Young. He had a good end of his year last year, improving. He was benched, but he improved. So how much pressure is he under for the Carolina Panthers?
David, I think he's under tremendous pressure. Now, good news for Bryce Young. He finished the season strong with the new head coach. Canales looks like he really is going to turn him into something.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, Carolina fans are holding their breath because if he bombs, you have to start all over again. This is it for him. Guys, if he screws this year up and he's bad, you have to replace him, and chances are you're drafting another QB at the top of the draft next season.
Arch Manning, how's he looking, Carolina Blue?
You know, I'm still wondering. I need to see what Arch Manning actually look like. Yes.
Or Nussmeier. Maybe.
If his last name was anything other than Manning, I don't know if he would have this amount of hype, but I get what you're saying, Stoney. But David, immense pressure on that young man. High expectations. He floundered, but he turned it around. Can he match the last 6 games this upcoming season?
Next person on the list is a head coach. It is the head coach for the Arizona Cardinals, Jonathan Gannon. Sure, we always talk about Kyler Murray, how he looks, the connection between him and Marvin Harrison Jr., but how much pressure is Jonathan Gannon under for this year for the Arizona Cardinals?
This is what? This would be year 3?
Yes, I believe so, yes.
I think they have to at least come close to making the playoffs or at least show some improvement because if not, yeah, he could be gone. He's another one of those guys that might say, hey, you know what, he's a really good coordinator, not much of a head coach. They've suffered some an injury, I forget exactly who, over the last week, and that could hurt them a lot.
Unfortunately, Stoney, I think Arizona is just one of those forgotten franchises that no one really cares, not even their own fan base. So, David, where he could go out there and just totally bomb, I don't think there's going to be a ton of pressure to get rid of him because they don't really have a fan base. They exist, but it's like some teams, the fire is always hot. There, you got to do something pretty bad. Now, yes, year 3, maybe you could crack the code on Kyler Murray and really turn him into something. We'll see. You got Marvin Harrison Jr., you got Will Johnson's going to be down there, but I don't think he has a ton of pressure.
Right. Starling Thomas, the 5th, is who I was referring to. He started quite a few games for them. He tore out his knee in practice the other day. So he's done for the year.
What's also interesting with them, and I know people up here talk about a curse and the Super Bowl thing, but with the Cardinals, they're dealing with a first-round pick type curse here for the last couple of years. Their first-round pick last year got hurt, missed most of the season. This year, Walter Nolan, their first-round pick, is now hurt and may miss part of the season. So they just can't seem to get anything right there in Arizona.
No, they can't. It seems like something is wrong with them, but, I mean, hopefully your other picks can step up. I mean, they were able to get Will Johnson in under contract,
right.
So maybe he could step in there. He was looked to be a first-round pick, so maybe, he can show that he was worth the wait and getting in round 2.
Well, speaking of injuries, the next guy on this list with pressure, or maybe not, is Joey Bosa for the Buffalo Bills. Now, I think, and they talk about it here, they're putting him on this list because the Buffalo Bills are a Super Bowl contender. They need someone on their defensive line to step up. So can he be the guy? How much pressure is he under?
He's under a decent amount of pressure, not just to help the Bills, get over that hump, for his career. to stay. He's under pressure to stay healthy. Would you agree?
Yeah, that's just it, Stoney. He's one of those guys that can you just play an entire season? It's almost like you hold your breath and say, if you can give me 8 games, I'll consider that a win. Yeah, David, I think he has pressure, but the more pressure is, can you just finish the season? If I'm Buffalo, as silly as this sounds, I actually play him very little and try to hold off and save him for the playoffs.
Next guy on this list, we're back to a player here. Shador Sanders, quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. He fell in the draft. Is he under any pressure this year?
Realistically speaking, no, he's not, because I don't. He's a lot of hype, but I don't think on the field he's really going to amount to anything. I think that at some point the fans will demand it because Cleveland won't be that good. But David, I don't think he starts to like week 10 or 11 when the season is officially over and they just say, all right, Shador, let me see what you got.
The only pressure he is to make sure that he's at least a third-string quarterback breaking camp, and he's better than Dylan Gabriel, for crying out loud, because you got Flacco and Pickett.
Right. So, yeah, that's his pressure. Can he make the team, or will he be on the practice squad?
Well, for those NFL fans that don't know, let me give you this. The last fifth-round selection to become a long-term starter at quarterback was Mark Brunell, who was drafted in 93, but it took him 2 years on the bench and an expansion team for him to get an opportunity. So Shador Sanders, you might be right, under no pressure.
And you know what? The funny thing about it, because of Shador Sanders, you know who really doesn't have any pressure? It's Cam Ward.
You're right.
Because nobody talks about him. You would have thought that Shador Sanders went number 1 overall. Cam Ward did, and he just kind of went, signed his contract, and he's just out there doing his thing. You don't hear anything about him, but I think because of Shador and all the cameras in Cleveland, he's just flying under the radar.
And this final one on the list here is an offensive coordinator. And Stoney, you may know a lot here. There's a lot of pressure, or is it? He's the offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles, Kevin Petula. They're coming off winning a Super Bowl. Brian Johnson was promoted and fired after 1 season. Then it was Kellen Moore. He's now a head coach. So is there pressure for the Eagles offensive coordinator?
Externally, yes, because in that town, if the offense isn't what it was last year, he'll get the blame. It's either him or Jalen Hurts. They're not going to blame Saquon Barkley. They're not going to blame A.J. Brown or Lane Johnson or anybody else. So, yes, he does have pressure, but it's from the fans, maybe some media, but I don't think inside that building, Sirianni's not going to put pressure on him, and I don't think Jeffrey Lurie, the owner, will either, or Howie Roseman, the GM. I think he's got at least a year, unlike his predecessor.
Yeah, I mean, looking at all the talent that they have, don't fall on your face, and yeah, go out there and do something. I mean, to me, it's you got too much talent. Like you should not fail. Stoney, is that asking too much?
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, now see, for me, David, I know you said that was it. Like I would look at a guy like John Morton, the Lions offensive coordinator. That's a lot of pressure because that was a well-oiled machine. We know what it can do. Your pressure is, can you keep this thing going? Because if it goes backwards, you already know what everybody's going to say. Well, you know, basically it's going to be, you're not my real dad, that type of thing.
All right, and on that note, that is in football today.